Okay, so in this session, we're going to look at improving vocabulary use in creative writing. So if we look at a typical style of creative writing question, write about a time when you visited a place that was new to you. So this is going to be the stimulus for today's short activity. So first of all, I'm going to share with you a draft that I have prepared previously in response to the stimulus, write about a time when you visited a place that was new to you. It was a clear, sunny day. I walked up the driveway and saw the huge house. I had never seen something so big before. I really wanted to get inside and explore, so I ran the rest of the way up the driveway and entered the house. It smelled strange. So that was draft one. Now, what we are going to do is have a look at how we could improve our use of vocabulary, how we could enhance our use of language to produce an improved piece of creative writing. And it's only quite simple things that you need to do in order to make those improvements. So I'm going to use the basis of draft one to form my new improved draft. And there's just going to be a few tweaks that we're going to make here and there. And this is just to show you how, even the slightest change of word or perhaps using a technique where you haven't previously can really enhance your description and is going to catch your teacher's or the examiner's attention. Okay, so if we're starting off with that first sentence, it was a clear and sunny day. Well, I want to enhance that a bit further. It's quite simple. So we're going to start off with it was a clear morning and the bright golden sun shone proudly. Okay, so again, we've said pretty much the same thing. We've just enhanced that description. We've got it was a clear morning, indicated what time of day we're referring to. You've got an extended noun phrase there with the bright golden sun. Can a sun actually be golden? We've used a technique there, a metaphor. And again, can the sun shine proudly? So again, you've got that extended use of metaphor there. So we'll continue. So we've, in draft one, we're talking about I walked up the driveway. The word walked doesn't necessarily give us any indication about how this person is feeling. Are they excited? Are they nervous? Are they scared? So your vocabulary choice can indicate how a character is feeling. So that's something you want to consider. So if we carry on, let's say if the character is, if your imagined character is relaxed, perhaps, as I strolled, casual walk, as I strolled up the driveway. And notice we've adapted the sentence structure here to begin with a subordinate clause first. Just mixes up the sentence structure a little bit. Again, continuing to keep that reader engaged, whether it be your teacher, the examiner. As I strolled up the driveway. And then the next part of that sentence. So draft one, we talk about a huge house. We can do better than the word huge. Think about what other words could we use instead. So we want to really emphasize the big size. So the colossal house. And again, we're wanting to continue to enhance that imagery. So we're going to try and get another technique in here. Sat grandly at the top. Again, a house obviously cannot sit grandly at the top of anywhere. A house does not sit. You've got the use of personification there. Sitting at the top of the drive. Both intriguing and inviting. So you've got a bit of a suggestion of alliteration there too. Again, you're just adding that extra bit of description with those extra adjectives there. So moving on then. I really wanted to get inside and explore. So you've got that allusion to excitement, okay? So we obviously want to articulate that to the reader. So excitement for adventure. And again, we're wanting to show rather than tell the reader this. Excitement for adventure bubbled inside of me. And I really wanted to explore. So we're wanting to really articulate that urgency, and I was desperate. I was desperate to explore. Now again, we've used quite a lot of full stops and commas here, so again, don't forget to experiment with your punctuation too. So let's have a dash in there. We want to emphasize the rest of this sentence. So in draft 1, we talk about, so I ran the rest of the way up the driveway. Again, similar to the way that walked doesn't necessarily give too much of an indication of a character's feeling. You've got the word ran. Does it give us an indication of how eager the character is here? So we're going to use I sprinted extremely fast, faster than just running. I sprinted the rest of the way. That full stop there. Again, we're going to vary our sentence structure as we continue here. We've entered the house. It smells strange. Again, we could really make more of this. We can show rather than tell the reader what we're doing. So as I opened the front door, we want to know what the front door looks like. As brown as the trunk of a tree. And again, if something smells strange, how can we articulate that? An unfamiliar smell. Use a bit of personification here. Entered, obviously, entered my nostril. Obviously, a smell cannot enter one's nostril, therefore we've got the use of personification again. Okay, so there we have it. There is our improved draft. So what we're just going to do now is have a look at the differences between draft 1 and draft 2. Now we've talked about them as I've talked about them as I've been going through. So some of the differences, we've got a lot more uses of language techniques. Okay. You don't need to overload something with language techniques, but as you can see, they do enhance the description. Okay, so some examples, and these are, you're not limited to these, but these are just some of them. So you've got simile, metaphor, personification, and you've got an allusion to alliteration too. And then next, you've got the use of rather a few extended noun phrases. Now, if you're unsure of the term of extended noun phrase, sometimes this is something that you'll do naturally without realising you're doing it. An extended noun phrase is simply as highlighted here, for example. So, bright, golden sun. The words bright, golden, they're two adjectives to describe the noun, which is the sun. And again, it's just enhancing that description. Another thing to consider, again, the varied sentence structure simply by alternating the way that your sentences are structured, having your subordinate clause first, having short, simple sentences, just has that bit of variety, as does the varied use of punctuation. So, for example, we've got the I sprinted the rest of the way, separated from the rest of a sentence with a dash to emphasise the excitement of this character who's visiting this place that they've never been before. So again, that's something to consider too. So here we've got 3 to 4 really simple ways that you can improve your creative writing with skills that you will have explored during lessons and during kind of exam practice. So don't forget to apply these methods when you are redrafting work. And again, the key point to remember is to show, not tell.